Fill my eyes with that double vision. Really disguise for that double vision.
Hey, just wanted to say, look at that double vision. This is one of the most beautiful days out here. I was just enjoying myself. Otherwise, I wouldn't have stayed out there for 5 hours. Um, the footage was awesome. The smearing effect was heavy, but then it started clearing up. But it stayed pretty much just mirroring everything out there. As you can see, the boat, uh, Bayport bird rack. You can count the slots on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's like 7 horizontal boards going across it. It's a triangle, um, and you can see the birds sitting on it. Then at the bottom, you can see actually the mirror underneath it, and then how that mirroring portion is squashed. Okay, this again is how things that are further out will actually vanish within themselves, its own reflection. So anything that would be farther out there, any other boats going by uh, that are farther than the boat that's right there, but you can also watch it and you can see its mirroring effect going on with it. And you can pretty much draw a line there to see right where the water is. You also see this edge um, that you can see the water flipping up where it's visible. It gets high enough above that mirroring effect or that ramped up mirror that it becomes visible. Um, Anything that's past it is invisible. You can't see it. Why? Because it's in the mirror. It's mirroring the sky. That's all mirroring the sky. So, like I was saying, any object, another boat going beyond further back will just be vanishing into its own reflection, as you will see here shortly. Um, Birds too. You watch the birds. That bird just it dives and it looks like it just dives right into the water, but it's not. It's being hidden within that mirror because he's flying real low to the water. Now there's going to be people that are going to disagree with me. One of them is probably Mendel. I've been having a conversation with him. Yes, he's for the globe. As you see that bird fly up out of the water, out of the mirror, and back up to the top of the bird rack. Uh, a boat's going to come by here shortly, and you're going to see that that boat is going to be hidden within the mirror. I believe this is, well, maybe this ain't the part. Might be further in the video. This boat, I guess he's going to come back in, and you can pretty much see where his wake is splashing up in front of the boat. That's where the water line's at, and he's going right by Bayport bird rack. Or at least close to it. You know, pretty good sized boat, I'd say. Either that or everything's just getting magnified, which I do see this occurring. Um, it's hard to explain. Usually when the visibility is really crystal clear, um, I won't have this wavy effect going on, and it will actually appear to be smaller. And I also credit that to this mirroring effect also. Um, Humidity, angle of light, the way the light's getting propagated off the water, all these things contribute to all of this effect. Here's a boat. There it was. See how it's vanished within itself, within its own image, its own reflection. And that's because this mirror is ramping up and hiding everything behind it. It's obscuring. It's again, it's Mother Nature's little magic trick that she's doing on our eyes. This bird, look, this bird is just so funny. He's flying in and out of the mirror. I mean, he's like right at the edge of the mirror. Uh, and you see other birds that fly by too and almost do the same thing. It is hilarious when you really, really start noticing it and start waking up. Like right now, you can see that little bit of water being pushed up there, and then everything else, and it's vanishing. In some of the footage I got, you can see the bird flying in the air, and then he flies down low to the water and vanishes. You know, I mean, then he pops back up and flies away, or he just flies right out of the mirror and then up on top of the bird rack. Just awesome. It's crazy to think that um, we can't see this. And again, man, it takes a lot of observations really for it to sink in. At least it has for me. I mean, you know, I had some skeptical issues or thoughts about this when I first got into it, and then I did an observation, and I seen how there was just something wrong about it. I went out to debunk flat Earth. That was it was like, hey, I'm gonna go out and debunk this. This should be easy to do. And then when I got home and I looked at that footage, I was just like in awe, because I was like, wait a minute here, something strange is going on. And there goes another boat. Again, something strange going on in the neighborhood. And look at the wake. You can see his wake as he goes after he went by. Why? Because his wake is getting up high enough for the camera to resolve it out of the mirror. Plain and simple. And this has been right in front of us all the time. And like I said, this mirroring effect occurs at all different distances, depending on the visibility. But right there was a bird that flew up and then flew back down. But depending on the visibility is what it's all about. If you didn't have this mirroring effect, that it occurs at all times. Like I say, either it occurs way out in the distance as far as your visibility will let you, or it occurs real close to you. And when it occurs real close to you, it's a perfect time to really observe it and watch all the details in it. Because look at that water; you can still see the wake from that boat. It's rolling toward us. So these are the little details that I look for: crab traps, um, birds, the boats, people. I got people that all you can see is their body out there. I mean, you can see the reflection, like the double image of their body, and they're out there fishing, but you can't see their boat. You can't see the boat that they're in. And, again, science, I have you believe that that boat is underneath is is over the curvature of Earth and is being refracted back up. But no, this mirroring effect explains it perfectly. And when you take this into consideration into all of your observations that you've ever made, just think about those days when you had good visibility. Like I could cut this right here and pop in one of my videos showing good visibility pretty much from the same location. And you'll see a boat so small, it's like underneath the bottom rung of the bird rack. How is that? How can, you want to say, oh, refraction can account for this? No, no, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that refraction is pulling anything up from behind the curve and putting it out flat in front of me. I'm also going to say that our horizon line is way higher than what we think it is due to perspective. So when you draw that line out there, say I'm up at 6 feet, and I know that that bird rack is like, I think it's 13, 14 feet high, or could be 16 feet, with the light on top of it. Um, but overall, I mean, overall, it's probably 16 feet, and then you got 2 foot of light up on the top. But the bird rack itself is not, I mean, I'm not up as high as that bird rack is. So if you think about it, you would say, oh, eye level would be, you know, about my height out there to that bird rack. But that's not so. My eye height is actually going to be up higher because I've literally caught water behind this bird rack, from an observation tower. I think it's Linda Penderson, or yeah, I think it's Penderson Park. There's an observation tower there, which is inland more. And I'm up on top of that rack, or up on top of that observation tower. And on some days, you know, the water line stops right there at the bird rack. And then on other days, I've got the water well above that bird rack. Now, of course, up on that observation tower, I am taller than that bird rack, because the tower is about, I'm going to say 40, 50 feet. And but I'm inland another 1.5 miles, 2 miles maybe, from Bayport. Actually, I think it might be a little bit more. Um, but I've never gone on Google Earth and found the observation tower and then tried to figure the distance to the Bayport rack. I've never tried to do that. I'm not really great on Google Earth. I can't do a video on it. I am not really computer inclined. Yes, I can make videos. Uh, I could do observations better than making videos. I'll put it to you that way. Um, yeah, I'm not great at making videos, and that's why I just put them out there pretty much as raw as possible. Um, just the way they come off my camera most of the time, unless I want to, you know, darken up the screen or lighten it up, or here we go. Here's the birds. This was the part where the birds are flying around. They fly up and out of the water, fly into the water, and you know, look like they're flying into the water, but they're not. They're actually flying away real low to the ground, but they are hiding in that mirror. And these are great examples. I'm sorry, you know, if people don't like this, because they've been fooled all their lives by the science, or refraction science, and science that's telling you it's one thing. But obviously, when you go out and start doing long observations, and you can compare all your footage from days of good visibility to bad visibility. That's why I do these videos, even under bad conditions, because I feel as if I can learn just as much from the bad ones as I can the good ones. And that's what's really important, is again, is the details in the videos and the observations. Because, hey, listen, science is about observing, right? If you can't observe it, then how can you believe it? And they've sold us theoretical theories after theories after theories that's nothing but horse shit, and people believe it. And they have no proof of it, but yet people believe it. Why? Because this person claims to be much smarter than you, and he has PhDs in this and PhDs in that, and you better take his word for it because he's a scientist. Well, not all scientists are correct, and all science can be, uh, or this theoretical science can be debunked. I mean, if you don't think that you're living in the center of the universe, you got to be crazy, because Earth is nothing like any of those planets that they tell you about. Earth is special. You are special. We're all special. The creatures are special. Everything's special. Why? because it was created for us. It was created for everything. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.